Another one bites dust. Bites the dust. Let's get into this. My biggest fragrance failures. Well, we've all done those, and I know many of you clicked this video because you saw the lineup in the picture, and yes, Oud Wood is included in my biggest failures. Now, let's dive into this right now. Hi, my name is Tim and welcome to another edition of Smelly Sweet. Today we're going to talk about my biggest failures. Yes, I know you clicked because Oud Wood was in the picture, in the thumbnail, and yes, Oud Wood from Tom Ford is included in my biggest failures. So let's start with that one. Oud Wood. Why do I regret buying this? Well, first of all, I know you're gonna think I'm fucking deluded or crazy or something, but it is a great fragrance. It's a great scent. It's not a great fragrance, it's a great scent. I love the scent of it. You can't go wrong with it. It is a CEO boss fragrance, but it doesn't last that long for the price. So I hear other people getting monstrous projection, monstrous longevity. I just don't get that with Oud Wood. But I regret it mostly because there are better alternatives out on the market today. And one of those is Oud Wood from Niche for All. Now, many of you know that I've been worked a lot with Niche for All and that company. But this is my 100 ml bottle, so this is a bottle that I bought myself. I was gifted a 30 ml bottle for, was it now, 1-2 years ago maybe? And I went through that in speed. And I have never used Oud Wood after receiving the Oud Wood. No, this wasn't released when I bought this. So that is why it might be wrong of me including this as a big fragrance failure. But if I knew what I know today with Oud Wood, I wouldn't buy it. I would buy Oud Wood. So before you make that mistake, heading out, buying a fragrance you can't go wrong with, try out Oud Wood from Niche for All. Why should you try it then? Well, first of all, I get better projection and better longevity out of this juice. This one lasts me around 4-5 hours, this one around 6-7 hours. And the projection is bigger. I've never gotten a compliment from Oud Wood, whilst Oud Wood has gained me some compliments from completely strangers that stopped me and asked what I was wearing. Now, this is often also accused of being a synthetic mess. Well, today many companies use synthetic notes in their fragrances. It's nothing wrong, it can smell as natural oils. But in this case, Oud Wood and the oud used in this one comes off more natural. In the opening you get a slight feeling of that barnyard, but that is just for 1-2 minutes, and that gives you a whole different experience wearing them. So before you run out and buy Tom Ford Oud Wood, make sure to at least find a sample of Oud Wood from Niche for All. Also the price difference, I forgot the price difference. This 30 ml costed me around $70, I believe, $70 or $90, can't remember, it was a while back. 100 ml of this juice cost you around $100, $90 to $100. I'm unsure about the currency at this given point, but around $100 I would say, or that is around 100 euros. So way more price worthy than this one. The second one on the list is Flowers Turn Purple from Floraíku. Now this is a niche fragrance and it costs $260 thereabout, and let's look what happens now. Oh, you see? I forgot this little thing that's supposed to be on there. No, it's there. So, and that is a bottle that costed me $260. It should just fucking work. It should work like this every single time. Smooth on, smooth off. So I can't use, but this is made for a travel atomizer that comes along with it. So that is pretty nice when you put it in like that, and you have a cap for that as well. So in this case, weighs it up a little bit, but you can't use it, you can't display it like that, because every time you want to use it, the color follows with the cap. So I have this little cap on instead. But for the price, $260, you shouldn't be needed to do that. This should be able to rest in the case that it comes in and only be used when you are traveling. That is my opinion. Now, that is not the only reason this is a big fucking failure. The longevity of this one. I mean, for $260, 60-70 ml, you get 2 hours out of 4 or 5 sprays. But I was hunting a true natural lavender fragrance, and this is that. It is that true natural lavender fragrance. It has a little bit of greenness on the top, maybe some herbalness from the basil, and some woody dry down. But most of all, I could just as easy go out in my garden in the summertime, cut off some lavenders and rub me in with that instead, because projection, longevity would be the same. That is why Floraíku Flowers Turn Purple is a big effing failure. Another mistake is Dunhill Egyptian Smoke. Now, this has got some hype, but when I bought it, I went on to Fragrantica, I looked the notes up. On Fragrantica at that time, it was listed vanilla, tonka, cacao, tobacco, sweet notes. So I thought, this is a smelly, sweet fragrance. But before I blind bought it, I looked up a couple of reviews of it on YouTube. And at that time, nobody was talking about what this really was, except maybe 1 or 2 channels. But I thought, they're probably tripping. I don't know which to believe. So I went on and read on Fragrantica, and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna blind buy it, because who doesn't love tobacco sweetness? At least I do, and that is one of my favorite scent profiles. But nobody still today mentioned the fucking heavy rose in this fragrance, and I'm so tired of rose fragrances. I'm so tired of rose oud combinations, and rose, I don't click with rose fragrances, and it is pretty heavy here from the opening down to the dry down. Now I see people talk about spiciness, I see people talk about leather, I see people talk about tea, the black tea note listed. And I don't get that either. I get a heavy rose with some small spices behind, and in the dry down is where the smoky vanilla comes forward. No tobacco whatsoever. I don't get any tobacco whatsoever. I get the rose all the way to the dry down, and that kind of ruins it for me, because I'm tired of those rose fragrances. So before you run out and blind buy Dunhill Egyptian Smoke, be aware of the rose in it. And last but not least, we have this fucking overhyped, disgusting juice from Bentley For Men Intense. I don't get why people keep hyping this. Yes, it is a sheepy. Yes, it is great longevity. Yes, it is a big projection, but it smells like a fucking old man. And who wants to go around on the town smelling like a 70, 75-year-old man, being out on a bender with a leather jacket on and maybe done some heavy smoking? I don't, and I think it is disgusting. Every single person under the age of 40 is gonna think of an old man the first time they smell this one. And yes, there is benzoin, yes, there is amber, yes, there's a lot of notes in here that sounds appealing, but it is not. And that is why people refer to this as niche quality. Yes, the longevity and the projection, but that's not the only thing, because niche fragrance, niche quality fragrance, many times people refer to that as hard to like, difficult to like fragrances. Bentley For Men Intense is that for you. Those were my 4 biggest fragrance failures. I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned to the next time. But until the next time, you all know what to do. Stay safe and be well, and see you around.